Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Badlands crew where, as you can see, some more changes have occurred. So the thing is, we were short 2 training manuals for a 7th crew member, and I was like, that's got to get fixed. I got to fix that. And while I was undertaking the missions necessary to spawn and then complete a 2 crew member mission, I got a new truck cab, this airport tug, which, as you can see, has completely flattened out the front of the thing and given us a more covered cockpit for our driver. It seems like it's less covered as far as the engine goes, since it's just sitting out there in the open. But it did, in fact, get me the training manuals. So, welcome Ben Santos here, our new crew member, who is operating a 360-degree, slightly short-range incendiary grenade launcher with some relevant incendiary grenade launcher skills, but sadly, not a lot of points of deadliness. A thing we'll have to fix. So our plan is to head to the last left stronghold, and I think maybe deal the killing blow to the clowns. So you can see I've had to rearrange the truck a little bit to make room for the extra weapon thing. In particular, Ben's up on a pedestal so that he can comfortably shoot over the other people in the APC hull with him. And as such, I have given him some like extremely heavy armor. His move speed is fucking terrible, but he should be able to survive stuff, hopefully. God, I hope. I did everything I feel like I possibly could to make that work. And one thing that Ben has brought is popularity. So this is a trait that, as long as he's conscious, causes everybody else on the truck to have 15% faster cooldowns. But if he dies, everybody gets a lot less XP for the mission that he died on. Alright, well, that was not nearly as much ramming damage as I was hoping for. Let's try to just burn these guys down real fast, spend as few resources as possible. Yeah, you can see our damage overall is like pretty strong. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Wood has taken a volley directly to the face, it would seem. That's okay, we got an answer for that too. Just go ahead and hit the blood bank. Does seem like they have perhaps thought better of it. Alright, so I think it's basically just like right across this bridge. This wonderful bridge shortcut that we opened up before. Oh, maybe they haven't given up pursuit quite as much as I thought. Now, it is still the case that the 360-degree grenade launcher has some trouble shooting backwards just because there's an awful lot of car behind him. But he should be able to shoot very cleanly forward, which is the thing we were really missing. And then also help out with the battles to the sides of the car. You know, if it turns out to be the case that that particular incendiary grenade launcher only has an effective arc of 270 degrees, I think it's probably fine. That's probably a totally okay place for us to be in. So while we're traveling over, let's go ahead and get Campbell picked up as well. And this is the stronghold right here. The only difficult part is going to be, you know, actually surviving the combat. So I'm gonna not summon any reinforcements until we hit the boss wave. So things might look things could get a little heavy, potentially. And obviously there's a version of this where things don't work out specifically because we enter the boss wave in such bad shape, but we're just gonna hope that doesn't occur. You know what I could do? You know, I'm gonna do this. Because the cooldown on this ability isn't super long, I'm gonna call for normal reinforcements immediately. It'll take us a while to generate the boss wave. And let's also, while we're at it, start everybody's double damage modes up. Santos doesn't even have enough deadliness to have double damage mode yet. It's pretty much a pretty huge bummer. But he can generate lots of cooldown reduction for everybody else at least, so that's nice. See if we can't force our way through the structure of this thing and blow up a fuel tank early on. I do want to take things pretty slow for the early part of the fight and try to like maximize our effective violence. We might be able to hit that fuel tank. I want it. I want it real bad. It looks like we're hitting the pillars around it. That's a shame. Alright, so Merritt's on the drums. Let's start up some of the drum abilities. We're about to have this side of the car come into their waist ranges. Yeah, alright, let's not worry too much about the fuel tank, I guess. If we can just rip all the gunners out of the things, that'll be good enough, obviously. Although we did manage to do a spectacularly small amount of damage there. I think Ueno didn't hit with a single projectile. Not the best work. I really don't want to use the healing drumming until we are all in worse shape, so I think we'll just trust that Simois will be okay. And I'm trying to be more conscious of these abilities. Take my side swipes where we are able. Yeah, there's a fuel tank on the back of these vehicles. We might be able to just rupture. Yes! Excellent shooting. Excellent. Apologies if this is a little bit less action-packed to watch, but it is so easy to lose track of what's going on when we are playing at full speed, and there's just too many goddamn things happening right now. Yeah, in particular, what I wanted help with from our small reinforcement friends was clearing up the towers at the beginning here. Now that that's starting to look done, we're probably, I think, going to be able to handle the waves actually coming out of the stronghold itself. Gosh, I sure hope so. That feels like a long shot. I don't trust that we're going to be able to hit that fuel tank at that distance, or perhaps even the vehicle at all, it would seem. On this side, though, like, that fuel tank is really hanging down there. Yep, just firing just barely over the barrels of his teammate's weapon. All right, Ben doesn't have the accuracy for shit like that, but we're still getting good work done. You, on the other hand, you might be able to. So our damage is all incendiary and blunt. Blunt from the pool ball cannons and incendiary explosive from all of the others. So blast and incendiary. These seem like good general purpose damage types. Like, I really don't have a good sense of which groups have which resistances. Okay, we got an incoming... Oh, wow. Incoming hostile taco truck. Love to shoot at, like, the front wheel. Okay, whatever. Hit some wheel. Any wheel will actually do. Okay, let's try very hard not to drive directly into that. Apparently there's a wisecracker over there that could use a little bit of adjustment. I should probably, when we're talking about shots that are that distant, have them aim at a target that's higher up on the vehicle, so that even if we miss, we're more likely to, like, land somewhere that does damage. All right, I might be able to get some piloting damage done here, actually. See if we can't steer into it a little bit. How exposed is this pilot? The answer is not exposed. Let's just drop a gunner. Alright, I'm gonna go for it. So we have these like Mario Kart Double Dash style side charges. They're pretty effective. It turns out the truck is just a great big ball of physics. Oh, I lost. It went out of range right as we were about to fire. Well, this thing's got pretty fucked up frame generally. I think we can probably handle this. I have no idea how many waves we're gonna have to put down. Is that why are those projectiles going that? That's not even kind of the direction, man. I've noticed this happening with the pool ball cannons. Sometimes you take a waste shot and they just don't. They do not even try. Like, not, you know, they take it and you miss, you roll a miss and okay, whatever. Like, they shoot in a direction where there's no way they could ever possibly have hit, and I don't really know what to make of that. Alright, we have fewer enough targets that I think we can move to more of a focus on more real time, as long as we stay over here by the destroying tower. Yep, again, just kind of not even in the arc, really. Taking shots that I don't know that we're allowed to take. Hold on, that defense tower is absolutely in range. We don't have to destroy the tower if we remove all the gunners. Ooh, that's nice. That's very, very good. Okay, your target evaporated. Here comes another set. And for the moment, the armor is holding mostly. Like, we're still fairly covered. I think we've done a good job of managing the amount of enemies that are shooting at us all of the time. I can't see that hitting, but at least, you know, if we're hitting the back end of their vehicle, it'll still be good. I think they're trying to lead the shots and just kind of, well, actually maybe doing a great job. Maybe actually doing a wonderful job of that. This might be another smash situation. Obviously, I don't want to waste the cooldown if the truck's going to blow up anyway, but it doesn't look like it's going to, so fuck you. Boo. Deleted. Alright, give me that hard turnaround. Nobody on the back of the car has their waste abilities up anyway. And I think we probably have a decent charge going here. Let's increase force right as we're about to hit. So we do have a damage dealing bumper, but also the forward charge just doesn't deal anywhere near as much damage. And sometimes it results in a secondary collision where everybody gets stunned, including all the people on my truck, which really sucks. It is not great to be stunned and have unstunned enemies like off to the side. Come on, come on. Nobody's available to actually fire at these two. They're right here. They're so vulnerable. Stuns last for approximately forever. All right, like I said, aiming higher. We'll shoot for the gunner, and maybe the shots will drift down to the fuel tank. That's at a pretty distant shot in the first place, though. I have this charge available, right? Yeah, let's try to get a little closer, but I might be able to. You know what? I'm going to go for it. Because they're all clustered up like that. Tell me we make the distance. Oh, not quite. Failed my charge. Warhammer 40k memories coming flooding back to me. Oh, the incompetence. No, not the chuckle wagon, the wisecracker. Yeah, because that fuel tank should be like very, very hittable from here. Oof, we're taking fire from an enemy pool ball cannon. I do believe, yep. Do believe that was a success. Hitting some decent rolls here. There are borders on the back of that vehicle. Well, I sure would prefer those guys not make it over to us. See if we could bury the wheels here. Yeah, that is 100% their plan, too. Steer away. Come on, just blow up, just blow up, just blow up. You don't quite have anybody. Your thing is just about off cooldown. The borders don't seem capable of getting up on us from this angle, though, so maybe... Yeah, okay. I think we should have an opportunity here to dump this, to blow this thing up before they can make it work. Oh, come on. Also, I need to get us away from... We're starting to stray into the territory of the defensive towers that I didn't take down. Alright, there's Giggles' health bar. Back to station, Merritt. It's time to press the important buttons. Gabba Gabba! Once again, I'm the comical pratfall, the clown who's got it all, the bozo of this chateau, etc. You know what it is and why we cannot allow it to survive. So, incoming war truck. I can't really read how close this ability is to cooldown. I think it's real close, so I might leave him on there for a second. Let's refresh everybody's damage bonuses. Oh, apparently not everybody's available for refreshment. You try to lob a couple of incendiary grenades into the driving space of that truck there. Nice, good shooting. Okay, we don't necessarily need to jump up on Giggles ourselves if the reinforcements are coming in. They say the cavalry has arrived. I don't know. That might be them? They don't necessarily have to come over here to help us if they successfully keep everybody else busy. Apologies again for like sitting in slow-mo, but I want to make sure we hit this the instant it's available and then get back on the drums. And I think like that little sliver of white there is the amount of cooldown that remains. Nobody's waste is available except for this arc, which is obviously not very useful. We do not have anywhere near driving cooldowns, but I can swerve. Oh man, Merritt, come on. Come on, I really think... Okay, well, we can refresh Campbell's damage, and then Campbell actually can get the first waste shot on Giggles. I mean, I would love to shoot the driver, obviously, if we can wait until the angle comes around a little bit. He's got a lot of guns on his car. Honestly, maybe we should just be focusing on that. You're killing me, you're killing me, you're killing me. Okay, you get a shot. Yeah, let's for sure try to drop a gunner or two if we can real fast. Okay, I mean, we're doing some cockpit connection there, like, we're getting something. I think it's really close. I really wish that they should display numbers. Like, even if it's only when you mouse over them, you should be able to get numbers on your cooldowns. Okay, so what I would love to do here is if we could get alongside and hit that left charge. That's not our war truck, right? That's our original summon, I think. let's leave your thing unfired until we can use it on the correct target. It does seem like we're just going to have a hard time catching up here. Why are you... Okay, that's pretty bad. Alright, maybe don't drive directly into the cloud. Where did you go? Okay. Boy, I really did not estimate the amount of time left on this ability correctly. Alright, you know what? Just get back to the drums. You're apparently way further away from that than I thought you were. Let's see if we can actually execute this incredibly tight turn this time. I think that's our friendly war truck there. They have decided to show up to the important part of the battle finally. I mean, yeah, if we can get pool ball shots directly on Giggles, we should absolutely take those. Hard to tell if we didn't see stuff happening there because they just haven't arrived yet, or... Alright, start hitting the important abilities. We're driving into a gas cloud, so that heal may have been premature, but I panicked. Oh wow, we actually got... We must have gotten Giggles quite solidly with that pool ball volley. His health is trashed. Nope, not this. Okay, neighbor's doing yard work. Apologies. No, that's cool. You don't need to do special attacks right now. You could just explode. Exploding's good. Where is... What on earth? There, okay. Very mobile, little dude. Oh, he seems to have driven himself into a wall, which I would call dubious strategically. He is openly fleeing the battle, which I think is a real good sign. Alright, come on. Let's get him. I don't think I'm going to be able to hit him from here, but I guess let's give it one more shot. If those shots don't hit, they're just going to hit the body of the car, which is not in particularly rough shape. So this is maybe not like the most optimal pursuit. But he's really a lot faster than we are. Okay, never mind. Problem solved. Struggling to see the funny side once again. Yeah, let's hope no more encores. I think that's the third time I've had to fight you, and it's always a nightmare. Alright, let's just go ahead and claim our outpost. Up, my engine just blew. Whatever, we're fine. Yeah, I think, first of all, that war truck, look at the damage they are outputting. Definitely critical to our success. Secondly, learning to actually use the truck itself as a weapon, making sure that I'm actually hitting my driver abilities, I think really helps. I think that was a lot of damage we were missing out on before. And with this, I think we have taken another big clawful of land eastward. Let's see what our map looks like once we are done here. All right, we probably got some cool blueprints too. Everybody gets skill points. Yep, Giggles advanced and also battle vehicle blueprints, and also 38 clown skulls, which is a big deal. Those skull ornaments of any kind are hard to come by. So, the absolute tosser. Okay. And armored stuff. A new cab is kind of interesting. Obviously, what I'm still hoping for is better engines, because I would like to make the car even heavier, and we're only going to be capable of doing that to a very limited degree until we get like a 10 or 12 cylinder engine. Giggles has laughed his last laugh. Crazed quarry is now ours. By taking this strategic position, we have the opportunity to reach into the sandworm graveyard centrally. The orator holds the sandworm graveyard. It is a somber place tended to by his most revered followers. We will start by exploring the heart of their operation in this area, as we seek to understand the deeper currents at play. Perhaps you don't recall when the land pulsed with life. The skeletal remains in the sandworm graveyard whisper of the profound changes that have reshaped our world. Okay, I'm definitely interested to see it. Let's reacquaint ourselves with the crew a little bit. First of all, Simois is now wearing this massive crow mask because it gives 20% fuel efficiency. I was also surprised when I discovered that. But that feels like a big upgrade in one of our real problem areas, and also just like heavy bomb suit and trying to make it so Simois doesn't go down all the time because it's very inconvenient when it happens. So the goofball hazmat hood is a very powerful defensive option, but it does consume clown skulls, and I'm gonna have a hard time spending resources that rare on anything other than weapons until we're like really happy with our weapon loadout, I think. New clothing, the goofball hazmat suit, of course, massive toxic and poison resistance. It's fine. Again, made with clown skulls, so you got to be a little careful with that kind of stuff. This takes fewer. It's kind of the same. Yeah, they're all going to be kind of the same deal, right? And finally, these tiny little goofball hazmat booties. I'm a little surprised these are not big clown shoes like the ones that we're already wearing. But yeah, all that stuff seems probably not worth what it takes to build it, in my opinion. I am at this point just increasing Simois' beefiness for improvements to max gear weight so we can get more proper armor, and it's working out so far. Merit has almost maxed out another tree here. Heal for a small amount of health when revealing a new part of the map. Not overall very good, I think. So what are we running now? We have Survivor, which is valuable. Vengeful, which is not so good on you, but would be it would be real good on some people. Yeah, unfortunately, you are the only person who is not ever destroying vehicles, so hard to take advantage of some of that stuff. We're getting close to having all of our perk slots available. Also, it is worth noting that the way I've been doing this, trying to get perk slots up on our gunners, does mean that any of the gunners should be able to fill in. Like, once we get to 15, drumming skill, we'll have more charges of the heal for more difficult fights, so you can just have people rotate on the drums. Alright, y'all are still picking up your deadliness, and there is a lot to do on that front. Alright, the ultra rare Ben Santos. What else do we have here? We have plenty of most of these things. Magnesium alloy has actually been a problem consistently, so let's make sure we trade for as much of that as we are allowed to. Toughened leather we don't need a ton of, but we certainly have more quality tire rubber than we need. And then steel for quality components. Honestly, I don't think so. We use both of them a lot. We have a lot of both of them. All right, so let's take a look at some of the new stuff that we picked up. We got a spiky large bumper, does 80 piercing damage as opposed to our current bumper, which is slash. Hold on. This is bumper standard big, so 80 blunt damage with a 10% stun chance. So we're not going to get more raw damage than that, it looks like, although, you know, different damage types, I still don't really have a good sense of what is good against whom. A heavy repeating pneumatic scrap cannon. Wow, yeah, 70 damage is in fact quite heavy, and it's made of extremely common materials. The premium components are the hardest part about that. Range 75, 120 degree field of fire. That is certainly interesting. I have the weapons sorted by type now because the new guy has the incendiary explosive launcher only skill. So I wanted to make sure I was putting them on the right kind of weapon here. 60 range, 360 degree field of fire, massive toxic damage with the longest poisons available. An improved range pneumatic toxic whoopee cushion, 20 compressor recovered for each one of these things. And just so many fucking clown skulls. Ooh, we almost have the ability to build one of these. Range 100, field of fire 360 with 64 blunt damage. Yeah, if we had 5 more clown skulls, and we will soon, I definitely think this is a thing we should put on the truck somewhere. We're trying to put together similar amounts of resources, or maybe actually even considerably more, for other stuff elsewhere. All right. We also picked up some compressors and, yeah, just more things with more HP. A set of wheels that look like they probably look kind of silly, which is fun. You can see wheels have almost no stats. It's just like weight and size. All right, tell me about this new. So this is what we're driving now, a premium airport tug. Sadly, when you select the thing you're currently driving, it doesn't show you the stats, and I don't know how to fix that, which makes them kind of awkward to compare. But I think this is in the neighborhood of the same stuff, and I think I like the form factor of this a lot better, even if it doesn't necessarily make sense that our pilot looking like a bird would always want to come in so low. All right, so now that we have this stronghold, what are we looking at as far as abilities to push eastward? Well, there's a gecko race, which is usually a pretty great way to get feeling for the surroundings. Obviously, there's some chance that this will turn out to be horribly dangerous. Ooh, hold on now. 5 training manuals and 150 magnesium alloy. I think we would be deeply foolish not to take this, and also some blueprints. Let's go claim our first Orator faction outpost, shall we? I feel strongly about this. I don't remember exactly how many training manuals it is to get from 7 to 8 crew members, but 6 to 7 was 10. So it's probably like 12 to 15. So 5 is a real healthy chunk of that next bit. We'll race with Gecko and become familiar with the area later, after we have once again fought for our lives within it. Okay, so we are pretty much just heading up the Lichgate slope, and into that there is a significant amount of map eastward yet. We're not quite at the edge. There's this whole area to the south that we still need to check out. Still need to try going up here and then clearing out the shortcut. And that's probably worth doing, you know, soon. For now, let us turn around, let the base's defense towers handle things for a little bit. Gee, what's that floating up in the sky? That huge black blimp. Whatever could it be? Alright, my guess is we're probably not going to be interacting with that highway outpost this time around. not returning. I have not left the base yet. Your hint, Captain Ironside, is that I have not actually been more than 2 feet from the base at any time. We don't pay him for his tactical acumen. We pay, what is his job? If not that, then I guess mustache care. He's serving as an example to the troops who want to have facial hair. Oh, we got another binoculars ping. It's probably just... Okay, the orator's dropping towers. I don't care. I cannot care about that enough to go over there and do anything about it. Kind of hoping they'll just ignore us and head off into the night. It's getting a little either magical with fireflies or radioactive with radioactive particles. And I guess I know which one I'm hoping for. Yep, those are going to hit. Okay. One gunner down. Ah, it looks like there are even more propaganda towers ahead. I guess we're probably going to see a lot of that kind of stuff in Orator proper territory, right? Our truck is kind of cool. I really do appreciate how much it has a very like cobbled together wasteland salvage look. I think it's actually really smart the way that they have the way that the blocks system works, where like you are not likely to pick up a lot of proper armor pieces at the beginning of the game, especially as you're like getting random blueprints. You're likely to pick up a bunch of like bits and bobs of recovered car ends and whatnot. And so you're much more likely to make your vehicle out of that stuff for the early part of the game. Okay, I gotta counter program a little bit here. These are stronger towers with their own fuel tanks, I guess. And for some reason, we can't attack them at all. Hey, Merritt, can you fight that guy? While Ueno and Boomic fight these two? Actually, Merritt should probably stay on here. We should probably have Santos do it. The thing I'm thinking is Santos should almost never be ordered off the gun because, again, move speed, very bad. But, in fact, the enemy's right there, and I think Merritt does punch pretty hard. Alright, so that should shut down that tower. Or, okay, there we go. Sure seemed like it wasn't going to, though. Alright, are we good? Looks like we're good. Okay, you were actually already back at the drums. And I kind of want to pull Simoas out. Just like run back to the blood bank real quick. Alright. So that'll stop the car. But we got pretty big guns. If they want to try to take advantage of it, I think they will end up paying the price here. We are taking an awful lot of annoying toxic damage, though. One down. That gunner is having too good of a time. Put a grenade in his mouth. You know, that could have been worse. Alright. Back to the front, please. Right. Oops, that's the wrong side. The fuck do you think you're doing? All right, and we shattered the whole front part of the car doing that, which will make it real easy for you to just hit the driver in the back of the head with several high-speed pool balls, or alternatively, fire 90 degrees off aim there and get nothing accomplished. Wouldn't that be fun? All right, let's get Merritt back on map duty. Yeah, we're going. It's just going to be a minute. The second we engage with anybody, all of a sudden everybody's coming out of the woodwork. They can sense it. They can sense car blood. Might as well refill a little bit here while we're going. Dial it back a little bit. I don't necessarily, I'm changing my mind from the thing I said earlier. I don't necessarily want to enter the battlefield close to overheated, especially since we have seen flamethrower weapons in the area already, because we don't actually, I don't want my engine blowing during the fight. I don't want to have to distract myself that way. Okay, it's nice to see that they're already fighting someone. Hopefully we can take advantage of this. Some decent damage in here. Let's see if we can't. That does not look like where I aimed. Nope, it sure isn't. Well, I mean, some projectiles we're getting through. Do we want to just... I want to just open up here. Now let's get on the drums. Let's see what we can handle by ourselves. So, speaking of handling things... Again, just subtract guns until we are the only ones who are still doing real damage. Dread Nest is gunnered up enough that it definitely feels a little inefficient to focus on the guns there, because there's so many of them. It's like, how are you ever going to be finished? I can't help but notice you're climbing a ladder there, Merritt. I don't think that that's something I asked you to do. I would really prefer that you not be doing that right now, actually. Those shots went in a little high, it looks like. That's fine. That's fine. Ow. Not sure if I need to hit the heel just yet, honestly. On exposed fuel tank. Just shoot the pool balls in the correct direction. Nope. Not even a little bit. Okay, something's up with Ueno specifically, it seems like. Do you wanna try again? Yeah, why don't you go for that car? Maybe I need to raise. It would be weird, like it's not an occlusion issue because it's not happening to boom it. Yeah, you know what? Just go to the frame. It seems like the frame is pretty badly damaged. All right, let's see if we can pull off a really cool slam attack here. Ah, Boom. I mean, every part of their car lit up. They didn't explode, but I do think that was probably a lot of damage. It was okay. You know, for a vehicle that size to go down to... Whoa, they got Gatling guns. Did you see the Gatling gun? I think we need to drive faster. You know, it's probably okay to hit heal now. We could really... Like, basically everybody could use it. Let's try to remove some more guns here. Okay. Nice clean shooting from Ueno. It might be safe to go ahead and call the reinforcements in. Okay, you know what? This feels like perhaps the time for some help. All of a sudden, we're like massively, massively outnumbered. I'm not even sure what is going on with why there are so many vehicles all of a sudden. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Take out that border. Or completely miss. They have like a man in the iron mask thing going on, which is somewhat intimidating, I suppose. Okay, I did get the border. Yeah, it tends to cut away before the projectiles actually arrive, which is... makes it a little harder to judge. First of all, it makes it kind of hard to judge what's going on, and secondly, makes you wonder why they even have the slow-mo. If it doesn't fire in a way that shows you the event. And back to the drums you go. I do not believe that we are going to get through to that driver, in this volley at least. We might get, might at least create an opening for the next one. I think everything's on cooldown now. Yeah, the stunning music is going to be absolutely fucking huge. I mean, I couldn't have been telling him to steer left any harder, right? Like, if they just don't want to listen to me, I'm not really sure what to do about that. Okay, here comes our reinforcements. I wonder to what degree the behavior of our truck as they are firing affects their shooting. Alright, if I manage to set this up right, we should be able to get a pretty satisfying slam or two out of it. I'm gonna make sure I don't fire it too early and just completely miss. No, don't you start driving forward. Alright. Got to completely delete those guys. That feels pretty alright. Alright, it does feel like we're probably somewhat in control now of the vehicles that are out here, but it is worth noting that that does not include the champion. Come on. Oh, man. Okay, they got some kind of minigun, some kind of spinning barrels monstrosity over there. Wow, holy hell, you guys. Okay. Friendly war truck coming to the rescue. I didn't even really have time to participate in that fight. So yeah, it seems like you get a name when you use the ability. You've seen that in the upper left corner. So it seems like it's dealing us somebody else's war truck, some other person who is playing the game, and I like. It seems like that would make the value of the ability extremely variable, right? I hope they're doing something to try to enforce some kind of limits on that to make sure the power level of it is where they want it to be. Which is not to say that it needs to be low. I mean, you know, it can be. I don't know if it should be as high as the thing we just saw because it completely trivialized the entire mission. But it's okay for your buttons to be like good and fun to press. Okay, so Battle Vehicle Blueprints Volume 6 gets us wheels, a plane door, some more guns and stuff. No engine though. It's really, again, what I'm primarily interested in is more engines. Great work. We're finally taking on the Orator on his own turf. He's had a grip on the sandworm graveyard for too long. He won't be happy that we're here. There's a masturbation joke in here somewhere, and I'm too fucking like burnt out and tired to make it connect. Seems he's been busy transforming the region into a moat of death and decay as a means to defend his mountaintop stronghold. We should take as many of the outposts in this region as we can. We'll need a strong footing here to get us through to the Orator's refuge. I wonder if taking the smaller strongholds actually helps you, like, if it changes the difficulty of the fight against the big ones. I'm assuming probably not. Oh yeah, this we're definitely doing 3 times. Like, we probably don't need more quality components. The toughened leather, like, quality tire rubber is so low in value for us because we have so much of it. But you could kind of say the same about this. Whatever. I'll make the trades. Okay. Let's get some level ups. Things we have earned. So more beefiness for you. Yeah, look at that. Like, every time we gain max gear weight, we gain so much movement speed. Yeah, so it's life force for raw HP and then beefiness for helping you improve your damage reductions. So the two play very well together as far as improving your effective HP. You can refill the rejuvenator using this crewmate's health. I don't know that that's a thing that I will be doing. Is it called Universal? No, it's just called Blood Donor. Seems like a good opportunity for a Mad Max reference there that they've missed. Alright, and you've got that, which is if 2 or fewer crewmates remain conscious. We just, we hope not to have these problems. Alright, what new pieces did we get for the car? I saw that we got some shielding here. Is this... Will this, like, go on the side of a... Okay, yeah, you can just hang this off the side of anything, it seems like. Except not on the car, or not on the edge of the trailer. And then just some, better HP on our metal shields. I might replace some of the corrugated, potentially. It's not a very costly upgrade. We have a Scorcher, improved range flamethrower, still only out to 50 though. Like, the DPS is fine, but you're going to spend a lot of time not shooting with that weapon. Rotary 3-barreled electrically driven heavy machine gun. This feels like it's got to be a good weapon. So 46 piercing damage out to 100 range with 360 field of fire. Right? That seems compelling. We're going to have to think about that one. We did get enough clown skull ornaments to put this together too. Yeah, okay. Like I said, some thoughts will be had. I'm gonna take this all into consideration. Then we just got some new wheels, which we almost certainly won't make any use of. Oh, quality monster wheels. Because tires don't have stats, it's hard to know what the, like, what does it mean when it says quality? Is this thing actually better than other wheels? The answer is no. All right, so if we start missions from here, we're allowed to just go straight to the orator, I guess. That seems... Am I ready for that? I don't feel ready for that. Okay, well, I'm probably not going to do this. Not yet, anyway. But it's interesting that we have already opened up the capability. I guess it says defeat the orator. It doesn't say defeat the orator for the last time. I bet it just opens up another chunk of the map, actually. All right, well, in any case, let's not get too dour about just opening up another chunk of the map. We've done very well here today. We did some excellent remodeling of this part of the desert. When you come back next time, I'm not exactly sure what the plan is, but we definitely have a lot of things to do, a lot of kinds of engine parts to pursue. We're definitely in like blueprint and relic hunting mode for a little while. So probably some of that, and we'll see you then.